Hi everyone, it's you once again, and welcome back to my movie review. And of course, this time I'm gonna do a retrospective movie review on The Running Man. Came out 1987 and was been directed by Paul Michael Glaser and stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita Alonso, Yapet Kotto, and Richard Dawson. And yeah, this is actually going to be my retrospective movie review on The Running Man, which of course I would say one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best film, my second favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film he did. And before I continue reviewing the film, I want to give something out on my chest. This is actually my first time doing a retrospective review on an action film. I don't know. I have never done a retrospective review on an action film. Last year I did on my old channel retrospective on Beverly Hills Cop when I got it the Blu-ray. But this is actually going to be my review, my retrospective review on The Running Man from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm not a professional. This is first time for me. I'm not a professional. I'm doing this for free. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not paid. And I'm gonna I'm gonna review this film and I'm gonna give my retrospective review and explain why I love this movie and what is so worth to watch, what's so good about this film, and I'll try my best. So I wish you to enjoy, relax, and enjoy because that's gonna be a retrospective review on a film that I really love, that I grew up as a kid and I really love. So yeah. So now I'm gonna show you the Blu-ray, and this is the Australian cover, The Running Man from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, this is so you can see better. It's Australia, which I got it. This is the back. I do have the disc. On this disc, there's only a movie, which starts only a movie. Yeah, it actually starts only a movie starts, and you have two audio commentaries by director Paul Michael Glaser and producer Tim Zimmerman. That's the second audio track. The third track is audio commentary by executive producer by Rob Cohen. Cohen. I don't know. I can't pronounce his last name. Cohen. The director. He's a producer and he directed The Fast and the Furious. And yeah, the third audio track is also it's also audio commentary by producer Rob Cohen. Cohen. I can't pronounce his last name. But the movie starts. It has 7.1 DTS HD master audio. The picture quality is beautiful on the disc. So that's the Blu-ray. Then I do have another disc. This is actually handmade. This is actually a handmade. I'll show you better. The Running Man, and it's also the back, so that you can see much better. Now, I do have the disc, which I'll show you the disc. I do have the copy Blu-ray disc in case if something happens to original. This is the Australian Blu-ray disc. On this disc, you have three. No, I'll show you a little better. So on this disc, you actually have three special features: and audio commentary by director Paul Glaser, audio commentary audio commentary with the director and producer Paul Glaser and Tim Zimmerman, and the second track audio commentary with Rob Cohen. Then you have Lockdown on Main Street, which is Lockdown Main Street is a documentary in the US. I actually skip it, just like John Spartan up there in the middle, from Demolition Man. He said just skip it, so I just skip it. The second one is Game Theory, but they don't talk much about the film. It's not actually about. They don't talk that much about the film. They only talk what was inspired by making what was inspiration to make this film. What was more inspiration, how real shows are. How the real shows are. That's what they were more talking and explaining. Director, editors, producers, and so on. Now, on this back is also written, meet the stalkers, obtain inside information about the deadly foes in the Running Man. They don't exist, though. That's false. That's a lie, and it's a false, because I checked. There don't exist that kind of special features on this handmade cover. Yes, this is handmade cover, but I like the handmade cover. I like the handmade cover. The movie is actually based on Stephen King's novel The Running Man with the same name by his pseudonym Richard Bachman. And the book talks about 20-year-old unemployed Ben Richards. His wife goes to prostitution. His daughter is sick. She's dying. She needs the meds. In desperation, he's a desperate man. In desperation, he needs the money. So he decides to go to the studio to talk about this TV show, The Running Man, with Dan Killian. And he becomes now the Running Man, and from the studio there's a team of stalkers, of hunters that are actually hunting him down. But he breaks the record. 8 days and 5 hours. And during the long hunt, he kills people. He kills innocent people. He's a psychopath. He kills 5 police officers with a bomb. The Ben Richards in the book is fucking psycho, and he goes and kills innocent people, avoids being killed. Then he takes a hostage on the airplane, kills people on the airplane, kills the main stalker, the hunter. Then he turns around after 10 days. We find out that his daughter and his wife were killed. He goes on a rampage with the airplane and goes in the studio. He goes in the studio and he crashed the airplane in the building and kills Dan Killian and kills a lot of innocent people. You know what? Fuck you, Stephen King, and your fucking lame book. That's my opinion. I read that Stephen King was not fan of this film, so what I can say, fuck him and fuck his stupid book. I don't want a character kills innocent people. I love this movie because the character Ben Richards, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, was made decent. It was made decent. He was a good guy. He was an ex-policeman. Pilot of the helicopter, got framed for the murders that he never did, for the massacre in Bakersfield. He never did. He was framed, and while on the run, he gets captured, and he goes and tries to avoid being captured, but he's been betrayed by Amber Mendes. And he's been now forced in order to save his 2 friends. He's ordered to play the deadly game, The Running Man. And that's what the movie is about. But he doesn't kill any innocent people, any innocent person. He cares. He's a good guy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I don't agree with him, and I don't agree with people who hate this film. I don't agree with them, because this is my movie. This is my favorite sci-fi movie. It's not the number one. Number one is up there in the middle, Demolition Man. But this is actually my 4th favorite sci-fi film. My favorite hunting film, And Ben Richards is actually my favorite character Arnold Schwarzenegger played. And like I said, people only talk about the Terminator or T1 or Predator that Arnold did. Those are the most main subjects that they're asking, but they don't talk that much about the Running Man. I want to talk more about the Running Man because I love this movie to death, because it's my movie, because I grew up watching this movie, and this is how we do a movie. Who will win this 2019? Mission to win at any cost. All weapons are subject to. A game nobody survives, but Schwarzenegger has yet to play. I really enjoyed that. The year is 2019. Television is now ruling people's lives. The most popular audience participation game show is The Running Man, where convicts can win pardons instead of parting gifts by defeating murderous henchmen known as stalkers. The stalkers haven't had much of a challenge lately until Ben Richards comes along, And movie is fast-paced. It's only 1 hour 41 minutes. It's a futuristic sci-fi hunting sports contact film from the 80s that I really love. And I'll say a classic. It's a kick-ass classic, and I just love this movie. I love Ben Richards. But we'll show you the better cover. Is the year 2019. The Running Man is a deadly game no one has ever survived, but Ben Richards has yet to play. Arnold Scwarzenegger, the Running Man. So that's what's right in. He's the Running Man, and I love his costume. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger's performance. I forgot to write down the stunt double for Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, the stunts were practical. Even the sled was practical, But yeah, but this is how the television works. That's Ben Richards in a helicopter, and here you have a covers, and you do have the stalkers. You do have the stalkers. You have which are 5 stalkers. Fireball played by Jim Brown. Basso played by Gus. I wrote down the stalkers. I have to find them. I found them. Gus Ritwish, he's Basso. Gus Ritwish, Basso. Jesse Ventura plays Captain Freedom. Edith Erland Walid de Jute. Erland Walid de Jute. He plays Dynamo. I think that I wrote something down. Dynamo. I wrote him somewhere down. Van Lied de Jute. Van Lied de Jute just more Erland Van Lied de Jute. De Jute. He plays Dynamo, and Professor Toru Tanaka plays Professor Sub-Zero. Those are the 5 stalkers, and it's awesome that the actor Jesse Ventura, who plays Captain Freedom, reunites with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all these men, who are stalkers, are actually bodybuilders. It's really bad it's really a shame that Van Lied de Jute died. After he completed this film, he died of heart failure, September 23, 1987. It's really sad. I remember him a bald convict in Stir Crazy with those 2 actors, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Rest in peace, all 3 men. Rest in peace, Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor, and of course, Erland Van Lied de Jute. Rest in peace. Professor Toru Tanaka passed away in 2000. He was Professor Sub-Zero. The rest of the cast are still alive, so that's awesome. Yeah, but like I said, I love The Running Man. I love this movie to death. The Running Man. Love Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's actually better cover. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Running Man. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he hated. Arnold Schwarzenegger hated the idea. Andrew Davis supposed to direct this film, but he was replaced. He was actually fired from the studio. He was actually fired because of schedule by 1 week. He was fired and he was replaced by Paul Michael Glaser, and Arnold Schwarzenegger did not like that idea. He was against it. He thought that Paul Michael Glaser was a terrible choice to direct. I disagree. Because Glaser came from only TV and had no film experience as a director. He thought Glaser shot the film like a TV show, losing all the script's deeper themes, and that the movie and that hurt the film. Glaser was last minute replacement, and he didn't have time to research the future he was depicting, unlike James Cameron did with the Terminator. So Arnold Schwarzenegger thought that losing the deeper themes that actually hurt the film, and I said it's not true. I said that Schwarzenegger should stop comparing the other directors that he worked to James Cameron. They're not James Cameron. Paul Michael Glaser did fantastic directing job. He did a great job. He directed this film. It was fantastic. Oh, it was like running show. It was based on a running show, you dumb fuck. Schwarzenegger, it was based on a running show. The movie was the running show. It's called The Running Man. It's a reality TV show, so it's called The Running Man. So he had to do. So that was the future, and that's how the movie was. And Schwarzenegger said, "Oh, it lost deeper themes." I'm glad that Paul Michael Glaser did his character decent and not a killer, not a murderous psycho killer. Like the Terminator. Or like the character from the book. I'm glad it wasn't that way. I forgot the narration, the open scene to wrote down. I'm not perfect, but I already said the story what's about. It's the year is 2019. Ben Richards, which I already mentioned it, he's actually police officer, a pilot helicopter. He's flying, he's in the helicopter. This scene, he's flying with his men around in the future. In the city, he's flying around in the Bakersfield, and he's been called by radio that he's supposed to kill. He's supposed to fire on a crowd down the city, and Ben Richards says negative. They're actually women and children. They're starving. They only want the food, for God's sake. And they demanded that he opens fire on them, and he refuses. He said negative. We are going back to base, and of course his co-pilot was been ordered to grab Ben Richards, to detain Ben Richards, to take his control, and Ben starts fighting with his men, with the soldiers, but he's been easily defeated. And because of that, he's been shown in prison, framed for 30 killings, for the murder and massacre of Bakersfield. He's been locked down in the cemetery for at least 18 months until Ben Richards and a few prisoners they were planning an escape. They actually escape from the prison. And all Ben Richards wants is actually to live normal and to be free and to live his life, So they have like those necklace, those explosive necklace, and he like breaks the necklace, throw the necklace. He breaks the necklace. And Ben Richards goes back to city in Los Angeles in 2019, the future, and he goes back to. He goes to his brother because he wants that his brother's gonna break him out. He's gonna take him out of the city. But when he goes to the apartment, he finds out that his brother doesn't live there. Unaware, another woman, Maria Conchita Alonso, or was just Maria Conchita Alonso. She was in Predator 2 as Leona. I love her, Leona. She plays Amber Mendes, and that was before Predator 2. Love her haircut, I love her haircut. I think that's her. If you can see better, that's her. With the black, beautiful hair. She's beautiful, babe. She works for the network, and she accidentally shows up in the apartment. And unaware, Ben did not know that she's now the owner, and we found out that his brother was also arrested, and he's probably locked down somewhere in the prison. And because Amber believes that he's actually a butcher from Bakersfield after the massacre, and of course Ben says it's all lie, it's all the lie, and he kidnaps Amber. He tries to escape. He wants to go to Hawaii, wants to go far away, but he gets arrested on the airport because Amber, she fights back. She punches him in the nuts, and she turns him in. She betrays Ben, and she turns him in, and Ben runs away, and he gets caught by the net gun. By the cops. He gets arrested. In meantime, Damon Killian, played by Richard Dawson. That's him. Played by Richard Dawson. He's looking for a new victims to play his game, to play his reality show, The Running Man, the deadly game that no one has survived, and he's looking for new competitors. And when he see Ben Richards and his talent, how he runs, he wants to have Ben Richards. And of course, one of the executive producers tells him, no, you know the contract. Actually, his secretary, Brenda, she says, the contract, we don't have any contract with the army. But Damon Killian wants to have Ben Richards and says, then get him for me. And he gets caught. And now because he... Ben Richards is now actually forced to play this deadly game, the reality show, The Running Man, because his two other friends, Laughlin and Weiss, were both captured. And if Ben Richards does not play the game, he will actually send him. Killian will actually send those two to play the deadly game in order to save the friend's life. Because he owned them. They were friends. They were in prison. They were friends. He decides to play the game in order to save those two friends. Much better character that Arnold plays, unlike the fucking book. That he was a selfish psychopath. This movie he isn't. He's forced to play the deadly game, The Running Man. He's been forced to play this deadly game, The Running Man, to be a stalker. To be the deadly prey to stalkers. To hunters. He plays. This is actually, like Jesse Ventura says, this is actually a code. This is actually a contact sport. The sport of gladiators, the death code of death and honor. It's a codex. It's actually a codex. It's a sport. It's a contact sport. It's a deadly game. And no one, and not so far, none of the Running Man survived. No one has ever survived this deadly game. But Ben Richards is forced to play the game, so he agrees to do that in order to save his two friends' lives. Unaware, sadistic bastard. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger calls Killian. He sends Laughlin and Weiss with Ben Richards anyway in the tunnel to play the deadly game in which the competitors, the Running Mans, they actually have to run 4 quarter miles, and now all three. Laughlin, Weiss, and Ben Richards are forced to fight for their lives. And while while Ben Richards with his two other friends, is running away, the audience pick the first stalker, and that's Professor Sub-Zero. And the first time the encounter, Sub-Zero uses the deadly hockey stick. He's a hockey player. Uses that hockey stick that exploding puck. And I love when Ben grabs that long wire, and he goes and he jokes. He goes puts the long barbed wire around Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero gets stuck, and we see all the blood. He gets killed. That's Sub-Zero. The first stalker, he gets killed, by the barbed wire in which he's been tied around his neck by Ben Richards. And I love it, said, "Hey Killian, look, here's your Sub-Zero. Now he's playing Zero." I love the beautiful screenplay by Steven E. D'Souza. Steven E. D'Souza wrote this screenplay. He wrote for Commando. I think he wrote the screenplay for Die Hard 2. But he did in 1994, he wrote a screenplay for Street Fighter and Beverly Hills Cop 3. I mean, what the fuck happened then? But Steven D'Souza did a beautiful, perfect line, which I love that, And so now all three men, they escape, and the audience by Killian, Killian asks another audience, another old lady, which he will choose, and the other man sends two stalkers, and this time he sends Dynamo and Basso. Basso. It's actually Basso. Basso and Dynamo. And meantime, Amber Mendez, she sees the news, and she finds out that the network is lying, because they claim that Ben Richards went and killed a few two people that he shot close range, that he shot two people, which is not true. She decides to snoop around to find the original tape from Bakersfield massacre, and she finds out that Ben was actually framed, but she got caught. And now once again they decide to lie about Amber, that she's actually Ben Richards' girlfriend. I love when Ben said in her apartment, he said, "I can stand like a chicken." I love that, But they actually lied that she's actually his girlfriend, that she was helping him, which wasn't true. They sent her on that sled. That sled was actually it was a real. Arnold said that was he was only 30 seconds in that sled. The rest was special effects, but the sled was done real, in the tunnel, and Ben Richards, Weiss, and Laughlin, they meet Amber, and I love when Ben said, "What the hell are you doing here?" And she said, "Go and make joke. They think I'm your girlfriend, and they think I'm helping you." And he said, "See the cameras? I can stagger for the audience." I was laughing, But Arnold Schwarzenegger's brilliant performance was the best of the film. I grew up watching this film. Every time I came out from elementary school, home from school, I watched this movie, The Running Man. I watched Commando, The Running Man, Red Heat, and Total Recall the most as a kid. Did not saw Predator until on TV, but the rest of movies I watched on VHS. And The Running Man I really love. Harold Faltermeyer, who did the music score for Beverly Hills Cop, Tango and Cash. I think he did for he did for Cuffs with Christian Slater. He did not for Broken Arrow, but he did from Cuffs. He did the music score. I love the music score. And now Basso, goes with the motorcycle. And when you see in the tunnel, when Laughlin, played by Yaphet Kotto from Alien, and Live and Let Die, Yaphet Kotto and Schwarzenegger's Ben Richards are running. That's kind of real. Looks like a horror film. they're running. It's kind of scary, in the dark tunnel they're running. It's really scary. And Buzzsaw goes after them, and with a chainsaw, he's hunting them with a chainsaw. He's using the chainsaw, and the actor looks like a bodybuilder. He's using a chainsaw. He hurts. He hurts. He hurts Laughlin. And Ben Richards, he tries to kill him, and he misses a few times with chainsaw, and he throws that rope, ties around the stomach and the back of Ben Richards, and starts dragging him, with the motorcycle, and that was I think it was 50-50. 50% Arnold Schwarzenegger did that stunt, the rest did his stunt double because he saw a stunt double. And I love the fights. I love that he's been dragged. I love that he's been dragged by that steel, how is it called, steel rope, on the floor. And there's a fight scene, and I love the fight scene when Buzzsaw tries to cut with the chainsaw Ben Richards to pieces. Ben Richards fights him off, grabs the chainsaw, and I love when Buzzsaw says, "Richards, I love this saw. It's part of my life." And I love when Arnold's very strong and turns around his boss and says, "That's all right, keep it." And he goes and cuts his balls, a real practical effect, all bloody. He cuts his balls. I mean it. He goes and cuts with the chainsaw his balls. It's all bloody. It's so bloody. When Toru Tanaka gets killed, we see a blood. When Buzzsaw gets killed, we see a blood. And in time, Vice and Amber try to escape, but of course, Dynamo is chasing them with his car, with his vehicle, and of course, Ben Richards goes to help Amber. Vice finds the codes for the satellite of the network. He gives her to Amber, but he gets killed by Dynamo, and he used that. Dynamo used Wainwright electrical launcher, by his wrist, he uses electrical launcher and kills, and he goes and kills Vice, and he only stuns Amber, so that she falls asleep, and he tries to he hunts down Ben Richards. Ben Richards runs uphill, but while chasing Ben Richards, Dynamo crashes the car and he falls down, and Amber wakes up. And then long metal bar, Richards grabs long metal bar, goes and punches but misses, and does not kill Dynamo. And I love what they did to Ben Richards in this movie. I love his character. I love how this is my favorite character. Another favorite character Arnold played. It's my second favorite movie Arnold ever did, with Predator. My top 3 favorite movies that Arnold did are Predator, The Running Man, and Total Recall. And that's my favorite movie that Arnold did, But like I said, I love Arnold's lines. He says, "No, I'm not gonna kill an helpless human being, even a sadistic scum like you." And Amber is like smiling, she's like happy. She sees that he's a good guy. He doesn't kill people, and I love that, No, I refuse to kill. I forgot the line. How he said, unhelpless human beings, even a sadistic scum like you, and. And of course, Amber asked what happened to Sam, so he had to split, and they ran away. And now, of course, the lady says, "I wanna bet on Ben Richards." So people start betting on Ben Richards, and now they actually send Fireball with that flame tower. They actually send Jim Brown Fireball. They send Fireball on Ben Richards and Ben Richards and Amber, and of course Ben Richards and Amber are actually, they found Laughlin. Laughlin dies, they running away, and and of course Fireball tries to kill them by using flamethrower, and then we found out that two winners, they actually it was a lie, the two winners that's supposed to be in Hawaii, they're actually both dead. They're losers. They just made like they survived. And I love one of the scenes when Damon Killian makes an offer to Ben Richards, that he can be a stalker for 3 years to get a contract. And Ben grabs the camera and says, "You sadistic bastard! You can swallow that contract, but make a room for my piss because I'm gonna break your goddamn spine." And he broke the goddamn camera. I love that, he broke the goddamn camera. And I also now Richards and Amber, they actually still running in the 4 miles sector, and now Fireball attacks them, and of course when he tries to kill Amber, Ben Richards breaks actually Fireball's gas line. He breaks the gas line and uses the signal flare. And says how polite, throws the signal flare and explode, and Fireball blows to pieces. Real explosion, real practical effect. That's awesome. And now they call Captain Freedom, but Jesse Ventura refuses. Captain Freedom says, "Forget it, Killian. I won't do it. I used to kill those guys 10 years ago with my bare hands. This is the code of this is a gladiator sport, the code of death and honor." and Killian says, "Spare me with this bullshit, with this nonsense. They actually see what's out there. They're betting on Richards, bullshit. Get out of here, And as a security guy, Sven Ole Thorsen, he was in numerous movies as a bad guy. And so they decide to make a CGI effect like on the TV show that Amber and Ben Richards are actually caught and by Captain Freedom, which are actually 2 other stalkers, actually 2 other prey, and they actually been both killed. And Amber and Ben Richards, they found the headquarters by Mick, the resistance, one of the resistance against the police, and against the human resistance, against the network, because network is brainwashing people. And when Richards finds out they're actually now dead, Amber says, "You should be happy we're now dead. They're gonna leave us alone." And Ben says, "Can't you see that we're gonna be hunted down? They can't afford us to be alive. They're gonna hunt us down. The police, the army, like dogs, they're gonna hunt us down." And I forgot to mention when Richard was sled, I love when Ben Richard says, "I'll be back, Killian," and Killian says, only in reruns." I love that line. And so now Amber gives Mick to the code of the satellite, the network satellite. They use the satellite and they show how brainwashed, Killian did the audience, that he was lying, especially for how they actually framed Ben Richards for the massacre that he did not commit. He was against it. And he goes back to the show, he says, "I said Killian will be back, I won't be lying." And he goes back and there are like few guards, and Arnold uses Heckler and Koch and kills all the bad guys. And he goes and grabs Killian and says, "Hello, cutie pie. One of us is in big trouble." And then, of course, Sven shows up and says, "I get a check for steroids." And he leaves. And Arnold grabs and throws Killian in the sled, and says, "Bastard, drop that." "I don't do the best." And he sat in the sled. and he falls down and he blows to pieces. He flies with a stunt double, so it's actually for Richard Dawson. He flies in the wall in that commercial and gets blown to pieces. A practical effect, and Arnold says that hit the spot. And now, the game is over, and Amber shows up. I forgot to mention, Amber also fights the Dynamo when Dynamo tries to rape her, and she grabs that machine gun. She also shoots one of the guards. She grabs the Uzi and shoots in that water. She shoots and makes the water. He gets electrocuted. He gets killed by electricity. That's awesome. I love that scene. And then Amber shows up to Arnold, to Ben Richards. She kisses him, and the movie ends with a beautiful music score. End of credits. Restless Hearts, Running Away with You, I think was was actually Restless Heart, Running Away with You by John Parr. I love that song. There was another soundtrack, but I can't find it anywhere. It was actually by that soundtrack was actually during the Captain Freedom workout. When Amber is running away and she says, there's a murder in my apartment. I tried to find the soundtrack, but I can't find it anywhere. I wish I could find it. If anyone has an idea about it. But Paula Abdul she made those dancers. She made the choreography for those dancers. The theme music was actually not released, which is too bad. By Paula's theme, she did those dancers. She did that move, which is awesome. But yeah, that's how the movie was. Van Lead, Erland Van Lead de Jute, rest in peace. It's really sad that he passed away. He said he died of the heart failure. I don't know what happened on September 23, 1997, before this movie was released. He completed the film and he got killed, which is really sad. It's a tragedy. He's really missed. I love that he played Dynamo. Professor Toru Tanaka, Sub-Zero, he also passed away in 2000, so rest in peace. He was also in An Eye for an Eye with Chuck Norris. He was in Missing in Action to the Beginning with Chuck Norris. They didn't have any fight scene, but they did have a fight scene in An Eye for an Eye. The rest of the cast that I didn't mention, besides Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita Alonso from Predator 2. I love her in this movie too because she has beautiful long hair. She's so sexy as Amber Mendes. And besides Jesse Ventura as Captain Freedom, Richard Dawson as Damon Killian, the showrunner of the deadly game called the reality show called The Running Man. There also Jim Brown in it. Marvin J. McIntyre plays Harold Weiss, a friend and inmate of Ben Richards. Mick Slitwood plays Mick, the leader of the resistance against the network. Sven Ole Thorson plays Sven. Karin Lee Hopkins plays Brenda. She's actually secretary of Damon Killian. She works with Damon Killian. Rest in peace, Richard Dawson. She passed away. He was 79 years old. He passed away in 2012. He and Arnold Schwarzenegger were actually longtime friends. I already said that. I think I already said that. Commando, I think. Yeah, I think that I already said that now to my retrospective review, which I'll say why I love this movie to death. First off, I love the idea. This is actually the retrospective. I love the sci-fi special effects. I love the idea. I love the director Paul Michael Glaser did a great job. I mean, Schwarzenegger claimed that he directed like the TV show, like that it was a TV show, but it wasn't like that. That he directed like a TV show, but it wasn't like that. It's actually a futuristic sci-fi film about the stalkers, and like I said, I love the costumes, the idea. I mean, I love how they did the costumes. The sled was realistic, but it was actually the rest was special effects. I love the costumes. I love the characters. Fireball, Sub-Zero, Dynamo, Captain Freedom. I think Basso. I love that. The retrospective is like the scene when Ben Richards and Laughlin they were both hunted down, and I love how they did that special effect. How Basso played by Basso played by played by Gus Ritwich, tries to kill Ben Richards, but misses him a few times. He tries to kill him with the chainsaw, with a real electrical chainsaw, just like Leatherface in what was that called? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He tries to kill them with actually he tries to kill them with a chainsaw, just like Leatherface. I love how he shows that rope ties around Ben Richards' stomach and back, and drags him drags him behind with a motorcycle. Love that effect. My retrospective effect. I love that effect. It was actually a real done for real. The stuntmen, they actually real done for real. I love that scene. I love how they actually did, how they actually CGI did with the stunt doubles. When Captain Freedom was fighting other woman and other running man, they actually they completely remodeled the faces, like we see the fight scene between Captain Freedom and Ben Richards. And I tried to find out how they actually did that in the movie, but when I clicked the audio commentary, it wasn't. They did not the director or the producer or the none of the producers mentioned how they did that. I wish I would know, because that time they weren't CGI, but the special effects were really good for that year. I love the music score. I love that special effect, how they actually did, how they actually did with the motorcycle, with Basso. And I love the lines, that Arnold says, I'll be back, Killian, only reruns. You sadistic bastard. You should swallow that contract, make a room for my fist, cause I'm gonna break your goddamn spine. No, I won't kill. No, I won't kill and harm. That scene. Unhelpless human being, even a sadistic scum like you. you see those cameras. I can strangle you for the audience. Remember, I can strangle like a chicken. I love the lines Arnold says in this movie. I love the lines. Hey Killian, here's your Sub-Zero. Now he's playing Zero. Remember, I can strangle like a chicken. Money. I'm gonna need money. You have a password. You do, now I do. I mean, I love the lines. I love the Arnold Schwarzenegger's performance. Yeah, Retrospective is also how Arnold Schwarzenegger played the character. I love that he doesn't kill innocent people. He refused to kill. He refused to kill when Dynamo was hurt. He will not kill or harm innocent people, even a sadistic scum like Dynamo. I know, no offense to the actor, did not mean him. I'm talking about his character. Dynamo. Not talking about Ron Valid de Jude. The movie was released in 30 November 1997, so that's awesome. But I always enjoy this movie. 1 hour, it's actually 1 hour and 33 minutes long without end of credits. And goes fast around. The action sequences are there. I mean, they did the Hunger Games, but honestly, I watched The Running Man over the Hunger Games. I'd rather watch this movie over the Hunger Games, because I love this movie how it was, you know. It's not for everyone, but it's my favorite. Arnold Schwarzenegger did, my second favorite. And I love Arnold Schwarzenegger's costume. I also love that scene with Fireball. He breaks the gas pipeline, and he uses the signal flare, throws the signal flare, and Sub-Zero gets blown to pieces. No, Sub-Zero. Fireball gets blown to pieces. Jim Brown, he gets blown to pieces. Practical effect. They did a practical effect. There was not CGI. That was not a CGI. I did not see a fucking CGI. It was done for real, you know. It actually was done for real. It was done for real. And Schwarzenegger has balls to claim, you know, the director had no idea about the future. He had a lot about the idea, you know. The same goes like about Terminator Salvation sucked. But he didn't know that his new reboot sucked. Or Dark Fate sucked. You know, I'll choose this movie over Terminator Dark Fate or Genesis anytime, anywhere, anytime. I love this movie to death. It's rated R, you know. It's rated R. It's a widescreen. Director was fantastic. He know what to do. Great practical effects. Great special effects. I love the characters. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love Schwarzenegger to death. I love Buzzsaw, you know, that's the scene with the motorcycle and Arnold is running the motorcycle, you know, or the Studio IS, you know, and I love that scene. I love the future. It's 2019. I love the future. I love the future set in this movie. You know, that's one of the reasons why it's actually a retrospective review, because that's how I love the future, the idea, the brilliant. Oh, it's not James Cameron. Fuck Jimmy Can, Schwarzenegger. Fuck your body, Jimmy Can. You know, Paul Michael Glaser did a great job, and that's my movie. I love this movie. I love this movie. I love this movie to death. I love The Running Man. I definitely love the character he plays, Ben Richards, another comic book hero in my opinion. I love Ben Richards. This is actually to me better. I love Ben Richards, you know, The Running Man, Buzzsaw, or Fireball, you know, or Dynamo. Sub-Zero. Hey, Killian, here's Sub-Zero. Now he's playing Zero. I love that, you know. I love that scene. I love, hey, Killian, here's your Sub-Zero. Now playing Zero. I love that. Remember, I can strike like a chicken. I really love that, you know. They're just innocent people down there. A lot of women, children just looking for food, for Christ's sake. I love that character Arnold plays. I love the character Arnold plays. Love this movie to death. I love The Running Man to death. The Running Man is my personal favorite sci-fi movie of all time. It's my favorite action film. It's not in top 10, but it's in top 20, definitely. Love The Running Man, with Total Recall, love them both. Yeah, I love the future. I love the future. I love the future has now been running by TV, which is 2019. It's actually the future is now running by the TV show The Running Man, which is the most successful TV show, and people are betting on the stalkers, who's gonna kill them first. Yeah, and of course, Yeah, it's actually a popular game show, The Running Man, that everyone sees. That's running by TV. That everyone's brainwashed. I love I actually really love the idea, the effects, how they did that. But yeah, I said my second favorite is The Running Man. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, but this is not for everyone, just for me. It's rated there. I grew up watching this film. Commando was actually the movie that inspired me to be Arnold fan. I was 8 years old. Me and my dad became the biggest fans of Arnold Schwarzenegger. All we wanted was just watch Schwarzenegger because I loved his movies that time. It's such a tragedy and sad what Arnold is doing nowadays. I miss the guy in the 80s. People are talking that he was much better in the 80s. He was. I miss that. I miss Arnold. I miss Arnold Schwarzenegger nowadays. But that's actually my retrospective. I love the costume. I love the costume. I love how they use the costume. I love the idea, the story, the direction, the music score, the action scenes. That it's fast paced. It's not boring. I love everything about it. I love the actress, Maria Conchita Alonso, Sam Mendes. Love the girl. Best performance by Schwarzenegger. Best performance by Maria. Best performance by Yapek Koto from Alien and Live and Let Die. Best performance by Richard Dawson, rest in peace. Best performance by Stalkers, Jesse Ventura reunites with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Professor Toru Tanaka, Gastrit Wish, Ireland Van Leet de Jude, rest in peace, and Jim Brown. But yeah, I love this movie to death. Anyway, it's 56 minutes about the movie. That's my retrospective review on The Running Man, because I love this film to death. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you next video, which I'm gonna review another Arnold Schwarzenegger review, another review. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'm out. Peace.